Kobe, thoughts on Scott Dixon's win?
Once again, Scott Dixon with another very impressive win. It seems like whenever the team tells him he has to hit this ridiculous field number, we're always like, oh, he's not going to be able to do that. And look again, Scott Dixon hit that field number, and he was able, and obviously, all the cautions helped that out, but still not, it doesn't take away from Scott Dixon's impressive drive today. It really seems like whenever his back is against the wall and there's so many different variables thrown his way, Dixon, that number 9 Chip Ganassi racing team, always find a way to come out on top, and he did that today. And based on how Scott Dixon has been performing to start the 2024 season, I believe a 7th championship is definitely possible for the Iceman, and it would not surprise me at the end of the year if he's holding up the Astor Cup at the end of the day. It's just been a very impressive run that he's had, a very impressive start to this season, and I think it's only going to get better from here. And in regards to him, tying AJ Foyt, if Dixon continues to race for the next several years and at this same level of performance, I think he could potentially get 9 more wins and tie AJ Foyt, or even passing. It just depends on how much longer Scott Dixon wants to continue driving, and if he can maintain competing at a very high level. It was another impressive win. Looking forward to seeing what he can do later on this season. I have a feeling that this won't be his last checker flag of 2024.
No, 100%. And I might have joked about this last year, but I'll bring it back. We need to check to see if there's any cult or deep deep government connections that Mike Hull and Scott Dixon have, for Scott Dixon to fight this aging and for Mike Hull to somehow find a way to predict the future, right? Because it's become their bread and butter, and they've found a way to win, they've won in that way. But I think even Scott Dixon knew that luck was a little bit of a factor today, and he admitted that Long Beach was a separate challenge, right? Because that was more of an endurance to the finish, right? Less of having cautions go their way. I think Kyle Kirkwood did a fantastic job, and things were just kind of had cautions in the rain tires played out differently. Kyle definitely would have been in more of a contention there. But going over to Marcus Armstrong, oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys saw, but obviously didn't make it back to pit lanes, actually crossed the line out of fuel. So super good job for him to hang on to that. I'm amazed that this was actually his first podium. I saw that stat line. I'm like, he hasn't been on the podium yet? What? So super, super happy for both of those guys. We had a Kiwi win at Portland. We had a Kiwi win today. Double Kiwi podium today. So good day for New Zealanders. Good weekend for New Zealanders.
Yeah. It is. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say a lot of racing talent from New Zealand across the world of motorsports.
100%.
Yeah. And I just wanted to add, how about the two Marcuses that, after the month of May, especially that Marcus Ericsson had crashing his primary car for the Indy 500, having to go to a backup, been in the last row shootout, crashing out on lap 1 of the Indy 500, and then to finally, get a good run with the Zandretti Global team after leaving Chip Ganassi Racing. This was the type of day that Ericsson at number 28 team needed to try to build some momentum and really turn their season around in what's been a very difficult 2024 campaign so far. And Marcus Armstrong, I think he's still figuring out the IndyCar series, and I think he's very serious about his work, obviously, and it seems like all the hard work he's been putting in is paying off.
Yeah, 100%. And I think when we look at the seat he was filling in Romain Grosjean, I think there was a little bit of early anxieties of, are we going to see a guy that maybe is struggling to kind of fill these shoes at Andretti, right? Teething issues were early. Best finish up until that point was 5th at Long Beach. But it's clear that he's been putting in the work with this team and really, really trying to grow. And it's awesome to finally see him on the podium with this team. And, it seemed like he was kind of really, really struggling. I don't know what it was going to take, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this relationship with Andretti kind of goes throughout the rest of the season.